There's actually a saying in the news, too much show. You may have heard Rachel and other anchors say it when there is too much news or too much stuff to cover. And that's a bit of how we felt with Tom Hanks here for our Summit series, because boy, did we have a lot to get to. We talked about his new book and social change and some of the many songs even about his work. We discussed the celebration of one of his most beloved films, Forrest Gump, which won him an Oscar in 1995. And when I sat down with him, we played him that moment, which interestingly, he barely remembers. So, new tonight, Tom Hanks on the Beat. This is part of that interview airing for the first time.
The Oscar goes to Tom Hanks and Forrest Gump.
I'm empowered to stand here thanks to the ensemble of actors, men and women, who I shared the screen with, who in ways that they will never understand made me a better actor. Man, I feel as though I'm standing on magic legs in a special effects process shot that is too unbelievable to imagine.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a very private moment that plays out in front of 17 billion people around the world. So you got to survive that, man. You don't want to trip. You don't want to use the F word when you're up on stage like that. But I will tell you that look, I don't remember that, in all honesty.
That's funny. So looking at that, you don't remember saying that?
I don't recall saying any of that.
So if this were a deposition, Tom, which is something we talked about.
I do not recall.
You mean to tell me you don't remember winning that Oscar?
I do not recall. To the best of my ability, I do not recall. There's the deposition aspect.
Amazing.
Here in the legal system.
You're ready.
That's right. Welcome to the deposition with Ari Melber. Tonight, we'll be trying to go back to something that happened 34 years ago to our guest. But what I'm glad that I said there is that all of the great circus that goes into and by the way, the making of Forrest Gump was old school filmmaking. We had a sort of cutting edge special effect of the zellaging of Forrest into all of these historic things. But it was shot on location, on film. It was old school, and we had to deal with all sorts of physical realities. And I was empowered every day going to work in order to make manifest this character that was only on paper by everybody else who was in it.
That's what Hanks told us there in our interview/deposition. I do not recall. Now, even if you're not a huge movie buff, Hanks is such a fixture in our lives, from his appearances on the campaign trails to inaugurations to even getting that Medal of Freedom you see there from President Obama. So we discussed some of that. I'm sharing this with you, new from our Tom Hanks interview, now airing for the first time. In real life,
well, in real life, ain't movies, are they?
No.
Yeah.
You're in demand. We had President Obama, decorate you.
Who I voted for, yes.
Yeah, and then you've spoken out also. We've got a little bit of you in sort of the real life in the Biden era.
Yeah.
Let's roll that.
Okay. America is the home of the brave. It's why we keep getting up, no matter how many times we get knocked down. In the last few years, we've witnessed deep divisions and a troubling rancor in our land. But tonight, we ponder the United States of America. The election of 1876 ended with a compromise that ensured the continuation of racism and racist violence in our nation's culture and politics that has lasted to this day.
What do you hope we do from here at a time where you're speaking out, telling people, well, there's a broader history. We can at least learn the facts of that. Take with it what you will. We can be engaged in civic life, as we showed you there. Some people opt out while they're banning books and maybe movies. What is on your mind at this juncture of where you hope we go?
To show how far we have come. I'm 66 years old. America was an extremely different place when I was a kid, racially. In 1964, when the Beatles were on the Ed Sullivan Show, you had to pass a test a literacy test, in Louisiana in order to vote if the registrar did not know your name or did not know where you come from. And just in order to have the right to vote, you had to answer questions that came out of, were as confusing as something out of lateral thinking puzzles. We as America it is a slow process that we have been on in order to perform a more perfect union. But we are making progress. It is slow. It is incremental. It is, I mean, we saved the world from, you know, twin racist empires in the mid-20th century with one hand tied behind my back because black Americans were not able to fight side by side with white Americans. We have experienced a countless kind of like two steps back. I mean, everything that you just said there, it was written for me, but I agreed with all of it. It's like we have made fantastic progress. We are getting closer and closer and closer to a perfection that we will never actually make.
Interesting to hear someone like Tom Hanks on those issues. Of course, he was here because of this debut novel that's now out, The Making of Another Motion Picture Masterpiece, all about the teamwork that goes into making movies. You make movies because you can and want to, not because you have to at this point in your career. And so you have this line here from, in the novel, from the director character who says, yeah, some movies don't work, but, quote, hating a movie misses the damn point. Would you say you hated the 7th birthday party of your girlfriend's niece or a ball game that went 11 innings and ended 1-0? You hate cake and extra baseball for your money? Hate should be saved for fascism and steamed broccoli that's gone cold. The worst anyone should ever say about someone else's movie is, well, it was not for me, but actually, I found it quite good. The question, Mr. Hanks.
Yeah.
Are you channeling yourself and your own feelings there, or is that something else?
No, that is something that I discovered a while back, that so much of my default setting is cynicism. And when you're a young man and you're in college and, you know, you're opinionated and you have your favorite films, it's, oh, come on, that was a horrible movie and it was god-awful and that person's terrible and I'm so sick of looking at him. Yeah, you can have that, you know, kind of like jealous quality aspect of looking at something that's been done. But as soon as you make a movie for the first time, you realize how hard everybody works. And I have not seen a movie that I have quote unquote hated, but without a doubt, I've seen movies that even if I'm in them, at the end of it, when the closing credits start rolling, you can't deny that, you know, it didn't quite work.
Yeah.
It didn't quite land.
So you don't agree with that character? I
think that somebody in my position should be very, very careful as opposed to saying I hated a movie. That because there is something that can be, I think the idea of saying, oh no, it was quite good, because there isn't a movie that's made that doesn't have some element in it that says, well, can't deny how good that is. Sometimes the writing's not there. The performances are first rate. Sometimes the performances are caught by accident and the writing's fantastic. Sometimes a DP brings something to it that it is, or even the cut, that something that did not work somehow works after all the editors and and the mixers and having to do it. I think the kindest thing that you could say about, well, let me pick out a movie here. The kindest thing you could say, oh, let's just say Turner and Hooch. I think that might be the oldest one out there. I think the worst thing you might be able to say that could still be honest with it is perhaps, didn't quite work. I actually think Turner and Hooch did work.
Shout out to Turner and Hooch. These are some of the photos from our sit down. Tom Hanks joined us as part of the Summit series, and he had a lot of jokes about how he felt walking around the set you see there, because our producers, our team, put together lovingly a kind of a tribute or a walk through his pretty wild and lengthy film career. So you can see some of that. What can we say? We were excited.